In the C++ Fundamentals course, we lay the groundwork for a successful career as a C++ software engineer. The course is aimed at software engineers from all levels that want to learn something about C++, or perhaps already experienced C++ software engineers that want to spice up their game or at least refresh some of the more modern C++ knowledge. Some of the issues that you may come across as a C++ software engineer is the fact that the language is quite large and complex. It's a very old programming language, almost 4 decades old, and over time it's changed a lot. And these changes make that a lot of content on the internet and in books is outdated. So you might get stuck trying to educate yourself on this topic, and this is something that we like to overcome with the course. So my course focuses on C++ 20, which is one of the more recent versions of C++, and we try to get the full potential of the language. The training is laid out in a total of 4 days, and we have 2 blocks of 2 days separated most often by a week of break. So half of the course is in-class hands-on exercises, so where we really get some practical experience with the language. But then also outside of the course time, there's also opportunity for larger homework exercises that you can spend the time in between the blocks or after the course even with. The first 2 days focus on the basic elements, functions, classes, things like that, getting all the basics right. And then in the second block, we focus more on the advanced topics like templates, memory management, ranges even. And there's a couple of topics that are optional. From previous installments of my training, I've learned that many attendees already have at least some C++ knowledge, but often it's fragments, like incoherent bits of knowledge, sometimes outdated. And with the course, we can bring all that together and form a good basis to build upon after the course even. So that's, I think, one of the biggest added values of the course, building a clear and full image of what C++ is and what you can do with it and how to develop yourself. Why are we using C++ 20 in the course? Well, C++ has been updated many times during the past decades especially. Every 3 years there's a new version, and every 6 years large features are added. This makes that the language is really in flux. And as a software engineer, it's very important to keep yourself up to date. And also as an employer for software engineers, it's important to have your software engineers be up to date. Because you miss out on the potential of the language if you don't. In my course, I do highlight when things are specifically appropriate for C++ 20 only, because not all tool chains in the industry support this last version of the language. But then at least that's clear. And perhaps in the future, the software engineers that follow the training can help migrate to C++ 20 or even a later version. Why learn C++ in 2024 anyway? Aren't there more attractive languages around to replace C++? Well, yes, there are many other languages around, and there always have been other languages around. But the fact is, there's millions of lines of code already in C++ in the industry that have to be maintained, updated, and also a large portion of people in the industry have been trained to use C++. So even if C++ itself wouldn't change anymore, which is not the fact, we would still be needing C++ engineers for the next decades, at least. But at the same time, C++ itself is very much in change as well. It's being updated with new features, and it's important, again, it's important for us to stay up to date and use the full potential of the language. Language safety and security is a very hot and contentious topic these days. And it's true that C++ still doesn't have a very good answer for this story. There's languages around, like Rust, that bring memory safety and no undefined behavior. And with the growing strictness of regulations and legislation around software security and safety, there are growing concerns that some of the languages may not keep up. So on the long term, there has to be a story for C++ on safety. At least for the short term, there will probably not change much. And it's up to the software engineers themselves to train themselves to use C++ in a safe enough way for their applications. Because guaranteed safety is not always required. Sometimes safe is safe enough. But I think on the long term, there must definitely be a story for C++ and safety, because it will lose terrain to other languages. I hope this is all informative and you find the course interesting. I hope to see you at C++ Fundamentals at High Tech Institute.